Hello, beautiful being. You are someone's toughest life lesson. And they've had a lot of lessons presented to them, but they never quite got any of those lessons like the one that they learned with you. It's really something that is coming through that's in progress, although anything that comes through on my channel could be past, present, or future, okay? But I'm picking up on an energy that is met with a harsh realization of the truth of who they are. And they've realized who they really are by engaging with you. Now, there's nothing in particular that you did to try to get this person to realize who they are. Like, you didn't do anything intentionally to hurt this person because you didn't hurt them. In fact, this is the biggest gift that they have ever been given, whether they realize it or not, was their opportunity to get to know you, because it represents an era of truth that they are being invited to enter by the divine. See, divine energy was working through you, beautiful being. And it's a gift that you have where you act as a divine mirror. You reflect the true energy that a person radiates, that a person is truly feeling and giving. You reflect that back to them. And the thing about this particular being is that they have radiated, emanated very harmful energy, because harmful energy radiates too. It does. And they have put out such harmful frequencies to other people, but they have worn a mask. And so the other people that they've encountered in their life either did not detect that this person was wearing a mask, and that beneath that mask of smiles and happiness and peace-loving whatever, that beneath that was sadism, perhaps narcissism, cruelty, and a desire to punish and harm others. Other people that they connected with or engaged with either did not realize this about this person, or they were not courageous enough to step into a frequency where they would be a divine mirror to reflect that energy back to them. Now, not everybody has this ability. This is truly an ability and a gift. But there are some beings who recognize this person's truth, but they didn't have the courage to even say anything. That's all right, because that's why there are beings like you. And you serve on this earth as a divine mirror. You don't even have to try to show someone the truth about themselves. This energy just plays out because it's your gift. So whether you realize it or not, the way that you interact with people, the way that you engage people, the way that you communicate with people, the way that you look at them, it's the expressions on your face sometimes that you're not even trying to conjure, but it's there. A person might come to you and you know that their mouth is full of nonsense, and it's just your natural reaction. It's the vibe. Sometimes it's your expression, sometimes it's your body language. Sometimes it's the pause that you allow once they're done speaking and before you begin speaking. There's something about your wait time, like your pause, that makes narcissistic individuals or people who are pretending and wearing masks and trying to manipulate and control and coerce other people. It's your patience and it's the pause that you allow, the time that you allow, where you're not rushing to speak, and that makes them so uncomfortable because they want you to rush. They want you to feel rushed because of their controlling ways. But there's something about you, and sometimes it's just your frequency. It's not even something that a person could put their finger on, like, oh, it's the way they look at me, or it's the way that they talk, or it's the tone of their voice. It's just you. Because you are a divine mirror. And what you reflect back to these beings, and in particular this being that's here in my mind's eye, you reflect to them not the mask that they hope you and everyone else will see, but what is underneath the mask. The insecurity, the fears, the pain of rejection that they have experienced, the fear of rejection that they don't want to experience, the competitiveness, the unhealthy competitiveness, the envy. They don't want to see that, but it's what's there. And so whenever this person has been in your presence, that's what they have been met with, is the truth of who they are. And at some point, whether it was when you first met this person or after you had engaged with them on several occasions, but at some point you knew exactly who they were. And they wanted you to engage with them in the way that everyone else does, that makes them comfortable, where you would be very accommodating and just go along with their lies and their attempts to control, and anything that you found out about this person that was truly scandalous, where they were causing harm, mischief, and chaos for other people who were minding their business and who were not attacking this individual. So at least with this individual, they were innocent, but they were harming them. This person was causing harm to innocent people. You were aware of that. And whether you spoke up verbally or took action, or if it was just in the way that you removed your energy from this person, or that you refused to engage with them in a way that would make them comfortable, you cause them to face the truth of who they are. And who they are is who they've been for years. For some of you, this person that you've known, they've been like this for decades, maybe since their childhood. And in some ways, it's worked for them because people bought it. People bought the act. But you didn't, and you don't. And there's been a change. There's been a shift. And it's a shift that was able to happen because your presence in this person's life unlocked something. And there has been a shift. And it's a beautiful, divine, energetic shift that was destined to happen. And it came through you, beautiful being. And what that shift has done is this person's evil tactics will no longer bring them the temporary relief that it used to provide. This person suffers, but they try to mask their suffering and create temporary relief for their suffering by harming other people. And it was never a permanent source of relief, but it did kind of scratch the itch just a little bit. And then their insecurities, their fears would rev up again, and they'd have to get their next fix of siphoning energy from someone or creating chaos for someone and sitting back and feeling like, oh, at least I'm in control of that. Those mechanisms that this person has taken on, has used for all this time, it will no longer provide them with that temporary relief. Every time they try to send chaotic, baneful energy to someone, or every time they try to coerce or control or manipulate someone, it will immediately result in failure and misery for them. And that's exactly what's supposed to happen. Divine is bringing through that it was time for this person to come to the end of their lives, because their lives create so much chaos and wreak so much havoc in other people's lives. And it was time for them to be brought to an end. Now, with every end, there can be a new beginning. But if this person is going to experience a new beginning, it will have to be in a different way. They will not be able to continue doing the same old evil things that they've done, because too many people have been harmed just because they need a fix for their broken emotions. So, one reason why this message came through, beautiful being, is because when you are a divine mirror, it can be quite isolating, because a lot of people don't want to know the truth of who they are. And when they experience that energy that you're not trying to project, you're not trying to be, you just are. This is a gift. And it brings justice. It's justice that results in judgment. And a lot of people don't like that judgment, but it represents truth. And it can be a huge portal to healing. But a lot of people don't want to face that, because they'd rather remain living in denial. They'd rather ignore the truth of the changes that they need to make. And they certainly don't want to face the fact that the way that they have been living is truly chaotic and harmful to others. They don't want to have to reckon with that and take accountability for that. Those are the ones who want to run away. Those are the ones who sometimes attempt to attack so that no one believes you or no one sees you in the true light that you stand in, because they are so afraid of being found out. But beautiful being, you are divinely protected because you serve a divine purpose here on this earth. And there are beings that are so grateful for the truth that you reflect back to others, because it's needed. And you are divine, you are beautiful, you are loved, and you are protected. Ashe. I hope this was helpful. I wish you peace, joy, and so many blessings. Take care.